Okay.
because I actually went to Yaba Tech first
Okay.
to do ND.
Okay.
So she now came here direct entry. So I now asked her after she told me, and I decided, okay, let me just follow that path. So that's how I just
Stumbled
found
on
my
the
way
National
into the school.
University of Nigeria. That's a great one. Now it's been, should I say 4 years now? You also did pause and play like I did. I spent like, was it 7 years running my now program? I became an ancestor at some point. So let me hear from you.
No, because I did direct entry, so I
Okay.
started from 200
Oh,
level.
200 level.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
And it was a
just
straight.
very easy.
Wow, great. So now you've seen now, you've heard a couple of stuff. I'm going to ask you that question later. Let's talk about the life as a student and doing your podcasting in online and how it all started.
Okay, I started in 2020.
Okay.
Okay, because presently this is my 5th season
Hmm.
covering Arsenal Football Club. So in
5 years ago,
2020,
who was Arsenal's coach? Was it Ateta?
yeah, Ateta.
Ateta?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
so you
yeah.
started with Ateta,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. Ateta.
And you collect a lot of cane.
No, I guess it better. So I started, though back then I was like what I usually do as an Arsenal fan. Every morning I go to different websites, check for different news, just to keep updated. So one day I thought to myself that this thing I'm doing, there are thousands of other people that will be doing the same thing. So why not on their behalf go to all these websites, get this information, read, understand it, then interpret it in Pidgin, then create a podcast where you can now tell people these news. So that's just how I started. And like play, even I started with my phone, just shooting, editing because I'm a professional editor also. Yeah. So you're shooting, editing, and posting, and before you know, 10 followers today, 20 followers tomorrow. That's how we gathered about 120,000 followers.
Tell me you didn't have to buy any.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
No,
Wow.
I thought.
Well, I know one thing about Arsenal fans. They are very loyal.
Yes,
They're very loyal fans. Because it takes a loyal wife to be to support an Arsenal fan. Let me not go deep into that. That's just by the way. If you just join us, like I said, we are on to the program, the incubator. We just did a makeshift for today, and I'm talking to one of my guests in the studios today, Sir CHUKS Arsenal, the one you know on social media. I know a couple of you are listening. And he's a sports journalist focused on Arsenal FC. He's been doing this for 5 years. He's got over 120,000 followers. Now, coming into the National Open University of Nigeria with what you've done, how were you able to link this up? Why did you bring this up as the plan when you were told to submit a business plan for your program?
When they asked us to bring up a business plan, so I looked at the development goals, and the number 8 somewhat resonated with me because it's about business growth and economic growth, decent work, and it's like I'm doing a decent work. Yes. A lot of my mates are into fraud, but here I am doing something productive. So that's why I decided to focus on that.
Pause there. I like that. A lot of my mates are doing front, and that's more like the in thing these days. And even the top guys that we respect so much are being caught.
Yeah,
we're not going to enter there. Let's focus on what we are discussing today. So let me hear you go ahead.
So that's how I just found myself here, and since I've always told myself that I want to have like a business model of my own, something that I love, that I wouldn't even consider work, because this thing I do now, I don't really consider it as work. It's like fun for me. Just wake up in the morning, do research. This thing, it takes sometimes like 7 hours to research, shoot, edit, upload. All this thing takes time. But because there's something I'm passionate about, I love doing it, so I don't really consider it as work. It's just a seamless thing. I just do it. So that's just how I just found myself.
Okay, so now linking this up and bringing it up as a business plan now, how has the this department and what you've been able to bring up improve your work as a podcaster, doing what you're doing, since you brought this up as a business plan to now?
As I just brought it up as a business plan. So, like Dr. Amusa was discussing with me, that okay, how can I even improve NOUN, and how can NOUN improve this? So, behind the scenes, we just discuss, okay, if like since this is what I do now, if NOUN can even assist me, like we're looking at the next level, maybe give me a slot in a NOUN radio, because I'm a student of NOUN, I'm a foreign level student. So, if I could get a slot, come in, do my show, even if it's maybe once a week, once a fortnight. So these are like the next level I'm looking at.
About.
To get more publicity, create more awareness about my show, because I know the audiences of this great radio house are going. Some of them are going to be sports lovers too.
Sure.
And so that's
Sure.
just the way my mind is working.
That's great. So let me bring on the man behind this one who brought the Arsenal fan in here, who says is a noun fan. So a noun FC fan, yeah, in that sense. Talk to you once again, sir, and thank you for at least honoring this call after about should I say 16 years? That's on the lighter note. It's been a long time trying to get on the
Thank
Amusa
you,
on radio,
thank
but
you, thank
finally
you.
having you right here is a huge pleasure, sir. So
It's my pleasure too.
let's have you talk about this beautiful stuff that we're discussing, being the lead of this great department. What has it been like, sir?
Thank you so much. Today is one of my best days because coming with CHUKS to this place, and our vice chancellor has always want us to be creative and innovative in what we do. So, as the head of Southwest Incubation Center, primarily, let me just say this: Southwest Incubation Center is one of the 7 incubation centers in Nigeria under the Directorate of Entrepreneurship and General Studies. Of course, our head office is in Abuja, and Southwest Incubation Center, as the name implies, takes care of you know all the study centers in the Southwest. So our mandate is just to look for entrepreneurs, young minds that are entrepreneurs who have good ideas, and we fish them out, to get the support of the university. Mark you, the federal government of Nigeria is highly interested in breeding, youth that are, self dependent. They should not be writing application here and there. That at the end of education, what could they do? And that is what brought about the idea of entrepreneurship education in the first place. And for you to know, this entrepreneurship education is also at the secondary school level. They have been, putting it in the mind of the young ones.
And I think that's the best place to actually start.
Thank you.
It's not even from the primary.
Thank you. So at the university level, is a compulsory course, GST. So when you get to 300 level, so it is part of the course that you come up with a business idea. And a lot of our students will come up and will say, what business can they do? They've been earning salary, they are okay, they don't want to even go into business. Since it's a compulsory course, and you must come up with idea, and we have, come across a lot of our students. And one of them I'm proud of today is CHUKS. Ordinarily, CHUKS didn't want to, talk about this sports thing that when are talking about business, we're talking about since people like Dangote, instead I'm doing sports. I said, no, let me listen to what they are doing.
Okay.
When he told me, I was impressed. I said, no, this is going to be our focus. And that's how it just started.
Wow.
And the mandate is to follow them up and continue to see at what level they can get to. That's the mandate of the university. And I think we have started and we're on the right track.
That's very loaded, as short as it can sound. I remember starting this up some 2 years back with Dr. Samuel Awolomate, who is now the head all round as far as my Directorate for Entrepreneurship and General Studies is concerned. He said something and he brought a couple of students. There was a lady he brought here who was into making, what's it called? These baby cereals.
Okay, yes,
she was doing it in a nurse.
Yes.
She was doing it in some very local form. And when this man saw it and felt it, and actually a couple of staff bought it and they testified that this thing worked for their children, they told her how to repackage, and she's like one of the biggest brands doing that in Nigeria today. I go into superstores and I see it as like, this was an idea that this lady was just doing as a nurse within her environment. Now she's resigned as a nurse and she's big on what she's doing. That's why this center and what our guy right here is trying to say, the coordinator of the Southwest Incubation Center, is putting forward. That idea you see as just nothing. The National Open University of Nigeria will do all they can to make sure that we put it on that track that people can start seeing it as big. And thank you once again, sir, for making sure that a sports lover like me has just brought this up on radio. I never even saw it as business, like you mentioned. Yeah, I see guys make so much money from podcasts. We know even Mikel Obi is doing something that is big these days. It's in my corner. What does he call it? I can't remember exactly. But that's what it is, and that's how things you see as just normal, as useless. can become really big. Once again, sir, thank you. But let me ask you this question: how did you get to meet this man, and what has been? You talked a bit about your role, but let's talk about how you met him first off.
Thank you. By the time you develop your business plan, you must come around to defend it.
True.
So he came around thinking about, trying to schedule the time to defend his business plan. Ordinarily, I used to go, to some level, sometimes go informal with them. Let me see the business plan and let's talk about it. So we try as well as possible to interact. That's why I found out that he has fantastic idea. So that's how we met. And he presented it first, and at the same time I said, come and represent again. On through Zoom. A lot of people will listen to him. I wish he's going to say some things about what he presented.
I'll get
Just to
back
give
to
us.
him,
So I was impressed. I'm not a sport lover as it were, but I'm beginning to develop, love for sport. I don't know if I'll go Arsenal way.
Somebody shout hallelujah! After you're getting to have fun, but win the title first. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Amusa. Now let me come back to the guest in the studio. If you're just joining us, this is now Radio 105.9 FM. It's a makeshift package for the incubator. We have a student who is an incubator. He's been able to ash that egg that he's been keeping and make it big and bring it up as far as the National University of Nigeria is concerned. Even before that, he's been doing well, but it was just a new light onto what he's been doing. Seeing it now as a business plan, not just the way Dangote or the other businesses that we do, see it as big. You can do sport and also do what you do so well. Not just going to that paper stand like I was doing some 20 years back and read all the papers, buy them, keep them up, and was storing all of those things in my head. Although it's paying off on today because I'm like the sportscaster right here on Now Radio 105 and FM. Now let me come back to you, Chukwudi. I think I want to stick with that name, Sir CHUKS Arsenal. So those who are listening will know this is the man that is right here on Now Radio 105.9 FM. Now, you've talked about the idea. What was it like presenting to the Augusta when you faced them?
They were wild.
Okay. But how did you feel at first? Were you confident that this was going to fly? Or you were still seeing it as some uncertainty?
No, initially, I didn't really know if it was going to fly. Like, for me, it's not really a big deal. But the way, when I did the presentation, everybody was like, wow, you're doing this? Like, because my fans, like I was telling him behind the scenes, the love my fans have for me. I don't really call them fans. I call them my community members.
Yeah.
They bought me Starlink.
Wow.
Yes.
Last time I checked, Starlink was over 500,000. I don't know how much it is at this point.
How did it come about? Then I used to use like all this MTN, Airtel to do the streaming, and it was breaking. So I just came out and said, okay, I'm planning on getting Starlink. You get so because they're like my family. Anything I tell them, as I was coming here, I told them to. So they were like, how do we watch? So immediately I mentioned it. It didn't take up to 48 hours. Money was raised. Over 800,000 was raised.
Wow.
Yes. And I ordered it, got it. And that's what I use in my production.
So you run a live stream, not like you record.
No, live. All our shows are live.
So how does it work? Let me even see if I can.
Okay, we do
a community member.
We do 2 shows. We do 2 shows every day.
Every day, okay.
Morning and evening.
Okay.
Then the days when Arsenal play, we do 5 shows.
Wow.
The regular morning and evening. Then we do pre-match analysis, halftime analysis, and full-time analysis. And during those 3 shows when Arsenal play, like when the lineup comes out, like 30 minutes before the show, we do a live stream where we have over like 2,000 people watching. And we talk about the lineup, our expectations on the match. Then after the first half, we come back again, do like a 15-minute show, talk about the first half. After the first half, we do a full-time analysis show. And meanwhile, we put out links where people can join the show to actually say what they themselves think and feel. So that's how we're able to, football is an emotional sport.
True.
So people are going to show love now. People love you and I love them in return. So that's just how.
Let me take you back to that game against Manchester City. I know you must have
5-1 now, come on.
I knew we were going to show some joy. Now, what was the reaction like? And let's use that as a yardstick for this Arsenal thingy that you do.
Okay.
What was the feedback you got, and how have you been able to see the difference in what you were doing before and what you're doing now? Since I know you must have been running this plan with NOUN. when that game was played.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
That game, to be honest, I never saw us beat it. I expected that okay, we'll do well, but not to that extent. Like it was the reason we beat them 5-1 was because of what Elialan told Ateta. Stay humble, eh? Stay humble. That thing was like a disrespect. So we needed to teach them a lesson. So that was why we beat them. Like I was that day I lost my voice.
now I'm going to put you on the spot. Let me hear you start
Okay.
your show in your way.
Hello guys, welcome to today's show. My name is CHUKS and you're on GFL TV, the home of football. If today is the first time we see our program for you to bring you the latest Arsenal news as it drop over the world. All right guys, so let's move on.
Okay.
That's my intro.
That's the intro. You can get the point now. So it's a mixture of English
And Pidgin.
and
yeah,
Pidgin,
yeah.
and no holds barred at any point in time. Okay, that's great. I'll be closing down to rounding off with you. What's the plan for the next 2 to 3 years? Let me not take it too far. With what you've gotten from the National University of now. Yeah, you mentioned one already.
Yeah,
looking to get this thing on radio. What's the plan for the next 2 to 3 years for you and GFL TV?
Okay. By then I would have finished my studies, so I'll focus on it full time, get a studio because I shoot from home.
Okay.
Yeah. So and there's a situation where I would have wanted to bring some people to the studio, but since the studio is in my house, it's going to be ideal. As a public figure, I don't even want people to even know where I live. Go say. So,
and you're married?
Yeah, I'm married.
Hey.
So that's just the thing. So by the grace of God, I'm looking forward to getting the studio where people can come physically, join me in the studio, and we'll just broadcast.
Talk about guests and fans and community. Yeah. What's it like? Is it just Nigeria?
No, Nigeria.
So what have been your experiences and breakthroughs?
It's global.
Countries or stars that have followed your program.
Okay, like for example, now before I started this podcast, I used to look up to people like AFTV, Babs 14, Indian Gunner, Kosi, Arsenal podcast. I invited Kosi to my show and he came.
Wow.
Yes, these are people I look up to. And now I'm
a popular Arsenal fan. Is it Kelechi or what's his name?
Kelechi is not really a journalist. So it's an Arsenal fan, but it's not really.
No, I don't call him a journalist. Like I said, he's
popular anyway.
He's a popular and like the top guy who was like, making all of those noise back then.
Now we have like 120,000 followers. That comes semi-goal is when we get to like 500,000. I will invite people like Fabrizio Romano, Ben Jacobs, Caviso Loco, Charles Watts, Chris Whitley. But like invite those people to the podcast. And we'll get first-hand information from them. Instead of me going to their website, I go and be reading, let them come and tell us what they saw. So that's like one of the things I'm doing in the future.
That's great. That's huge. And I really like your confidence in what you do. The joy also that, and this started 5 years ago. Yeah. Just some years after you joined the National University of Nigeria. And once you join here, we add that stew to your white rice. You get the jerk. It was beautiful, really having you right here in the studios. And like I said, we look to also have students who are sitting back and saying, I don't have an idea and I'm procrastinating. For your information, I'm looking to take another course right here at the National University of Nigeria without having to quit my job. You wouldn't even know when I round off my course. And that's the beautiful thing about the National University of Nigeria. Before I let you guys go, let me hear from Dr. Amusa once again. So, we've heard from him. What do you have to say about your incubatees? And also, for those who are listening out there who want to join the university or who are contemplating, and again, who think they don't have a business plan that they can push out there and they're going through stuff. Guys, send me 2K there.
Thank you so much. Number one, I want to say a big thank you to CHUKS. He has been doing one thing for now, beside the fact that he didn't tell me to do this.
Yeah.
He ensured he talks about National Open University of Nigeria, on his program.
Wow.
And you know what that means. Okay? And that is one side of it. I want him to continue because the Vice Chancellor is always interested in whatever medium to reach out to people who do not know about now. As I speak to you, I still come across some people say, so in this age, you are just hearing about now, or you don't know about now. That is number one.
It's normal.
Yes. Number two, you see, this concept of entrepreneurship is something that people should not joke with. I tell students that fine, you may have, 4-year course, program here, but you see the GST 302 if you don't pass through it, you are yet to go to the university
Mm.
because it's going to open you up.
True.
So, and by extension, right now, the directorate is running entrepreneurship education, certificates in entrepreneurship education for people who have, interest in developing the entrepreneurial skills. They can come in, to our 6-month programs.
Okay.
Yes. So right now, the
That's like a program on its own.
yeah, it's a program on its own.
And
The,
program, yeah.
the application is going on.
So how do I go about it if I'm going to get that?
Yes, you just go to our website, NOUN.edu.ng.
NOU.edu.ng. Yeah.
So there, I will still send those things to you because
Okay.
it's a bit hidden. So you go there. That's where you get the details. Then we have our flyers. I don't know if I'll send it to you.
I really appreciate it.
Yes.
I can really do that just after we sign off.
Thank you. So the application is going on right now. So you're going to apply online, and the main thing in that program is that you're going to meet a lot of entrepreneurs that will open you up. Some people thought the idea is over, but not knowing that there's really new ideas that by the time you see somebody who opens you up, you're able to do a lot of. So I want to encourage people to get information about this and put in just for talking, but it's free for incubators. So that's just it, and I'm happy I'm here today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amusa. CHUKS, good to have you around once again. That's the man behind the GFL TV. What's the full meaning of that actually?
Gunners for Life TV.
Gunners for Life TV. Sir CHUKS Arsenal. We've got him right here in the studio. So we're leaving us soon. Just in case you missed out, he is the 400 level student of this great university, mass communication to be precise, a journalist who has chosen to do his thing right here. And just let us know that we are students of NOUN and not just one who come and you think we're part-time students. No, NOUN is a full-time university, and Nwankwo Chukwudi has done greatly well as a sports journalist, focusing on Arsenal FC. 120,000 fans is no joke. I didn't even get 10%. I'm not going to lie. That's how sincere I can be. But for one to have built this to that height without having to buy followers, it's a great community, and I'm sure that I'll be joining as soon as possible to even see what it looks like. I'm watching this, I promise. So the details will come in. So for those who want to join this, let me do a bit of publicity for you at this point in time. How do I get to watch you live and what time? Yeah.
On Facebook, we are just search for GFL TV or Gunners for Life TV. You see our page. Then on YouTube, it's CHUKS Arsenal TV.
CHUKS Arsenal TV.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Okay.
So on YouTube, we have about 20-something thousand followers.
Okay.
On Facebook, about 108,000.
Okay. So where do you stream live?
We use StreamYard Studios.
Okay.
So once I go live, I'm going live on
YouTube,
every all platforms at the same time.
Great. That's really lovely.
And our shows are between 11 a.m. to 11:30 in the morning. Then in the night, 8:30. 8 to 8:30.
8 to 8:30.
Every day.
That's really beautiful.
Monday to Monday, every day.
Like I said, football fans will never know so much. You think you know all about Arsenal. It's beyond the first 11.
Yes,
it's beyond the football players. He just mentions some names I'm hearing for the first time. I'm going to be as sincere as I can to you. As a sportcaster, you cannot know everything. Even CHUKS have not know all of them. And we're all still growing. Thank you so much, CHUKS, and for coming around. It's been lovely having you right here on the incubator. And I know that your own egg don't hash already. I make you lay more eggs. I would wait for. My name is Azubike on the jam. See you very much right here with you. And I'm just one or two great stuff. CHUKS, what's your favorite way back song? I'm also going to be asking Dr. Amusa.
My what?
Favorite way back song, old school music, what you like so much. I want to play one for you. Or who's your favorite way back artist? Is it Michael Jackson? Is it Tubaba? Is it?
It's Tubaba.
You have to. How did I know it was Tubaba? I'm a legend. So which of Tubaba's song?
One Love.
Oh, One Love. These guys are good music. Dr. Amusa, from the 50s. So really, it's one love for every Arsenal fan. Show yourself love, no matter how it's going right there. You will try. You might not win the league title, but keep hoping. I'm not throwing shades. I'm just trying to be the Zubi that I've always been. Still the voice of the radio freak, Azubike Onitsha. Thanks for joining me on this beautiful segment. Like I said, join Jeffrey every Tuesday for more as far as the incubator is concerned. You get to hear from great students from the National University of Nigeria, what they've been able to do for themselves and even for the community, and how NOUN has been able to help them in the little way that we can to put them on that track. That thing you see as useless is a big, big business idea. And that's why we've got that incubation center. That's why we've also got the Directorate of Entrepreneurship and General Studies. Don't waste that time, take the right step, and let's make it happen. Going back now to the Way Back Wednesday edition of the Afternoon Drive. Stay tuned to this beautiful radio station. The voice of the radio freak is what you'll be hearing for the next couple of minutes. Thank you so much